She started with debt and ended with millions. She started with $82,000 in debt, not investments, not savings, debt. At one point, she wondered if she would spend the rest of her life just trying to catch up, but decades later, she quietly became a millionaire. So what changed? It wasn't a high-paying job. It wasn't a lucky investment. And it definitely wasn't winning the lottery. The answer was much less exciting and much more powerful. Like many people, she believed earning more money would solve everything. She worked longer hours, accepted extra shifts, took every opportunity to increase her paycheck. Yet her financial stress barely changed. Why? Because every raise disappeared into a slightly better lifestyle. A newer car, more expensive vacations, bigger monthly bills. It felt like progress, but her net worth barely moved. Then one conversation changed everything. A retired investor asked her a simple question. If your income stopped tomorrow, what would still be paying you? She didn't have an answer. That question stayed in her mind for weeks. She realized she had been building a lifestyle, not wealth. So she made one small decision. Instead of spending every raise, she automatically invested part of every paycheck before she ever saw it. At first, the numbers looked almost meaningless. A few $100s here, a few hundred there. Friends laughed at how carefully she tracked every expense. Some bought luxury cars. She kept driving the same old one. Some upgraded to bigger homes. She stayed where she was. It looked like she was falling behind, but something invisible was happening. Every investment bought a tiny piece of businesses around the world. Every dividend bought even more. Every year, compounding quietly did a little more work. The progress was almost impossible to notice. Then came the turning point. After nearly 20 years of consistent investing, her portfolio began earning more each year than she was adding herself. For the first time, her money was working harder than she was. The gap kept growing. Soon, investment growth became larger than her annual salary, while others depended entirely on their next paycheck. She owned assets that continued growing whether she was working or sleeping. Eventually, her investments crossed the $1 million mark. The surprising part? She never earned an extraordinary income. She simply kept buying ordinary investments for an extraordinary amount of time. Most people think wealth is built by earning more. She discovered it was built by owning more. The lesson? The real reason she became wealthy wasn't because she escaped debt overnight. It was because she stopped treating every extra dollar as money to spend and started treating it as something that could buy future freedom. That's the quiet habit that turned debt into millions.